Hello everyone, in this video I'll be showing you how to use our internal link checker tool. So you point this tool at any website you like and it will crawl every page and it will check all the internal links on your website. Now the reason you want to check your internal links on your website is because every time you link to a web page on your own website, from your own website, you're passing a little bit of internal link juice around your website. So you want to link to the pages that are most important to you the most, and you want to link to them with descriptive anchor text to help Google work out what that web page is about. So for example, if you've got an important web page and you want it to rank high on Google, you want lots of internal links pointing to it, and you want descriptive anchor text such as, if it's about shoes, then have shoes in the anchor text. You don't want things like read more or click here or things like that. And this tool will help you find those non-descriptive anchor texts, and it will also show you how often you're linking to certain pages from certain pages. So before we show you the tool in action, we'll just go through the small amount of options that there are. So here you simply enter the website you want to check the internal links on, and then below there we have scan speed. So if you've got a website that you know can handle a lot of connections at once, and it won't block our IP address, and you can crank that up. But if you're unsure, I'd probably just leave that at 5, because that'll scan the website fairly quickly, and you're also unlikely to block the IP address we're doing the scans from. So let's kick off scan and then come back in a minute when we scan the website and we've got some results. So we've come back a few minutes later and we scanned a total of 563 pages on this website, and you can see we've got a bunch of really interesting results to work through here. So we've got some various filters up here. So if we want to show only pages where no issues were detected, we can filter that, and then most of them are fairly self-explanatory, but I'll go through them anyway. So we've got show pages with empty anchors. So that's if you are linking to another page on your website but you've got an empty anchor, so you're not linking with an image, you literally have a hyperlink, doesn't have any sort of anchor text. Next we have show pages with image links. So if you want to see internal links that are images, then keep that ticked, because some people might want to, for example, if they've purchased the website and there's a lot of internal links that are image links, they might want to replace those with text links, because those text anchors are more descriptive for Google. Next we have show pages with anchors of 10 words or over. So a lot of people say that if your anchor texts are too long, you're sort of diluting the main keywords in the anchor text there. So that's often something that people want to see on their website. And next we have show pages with common non-descriptive anchors. So that's anchor texts like, more info, click here, etc. Read more. Those anchor texts are not very descriptive to Google. So when Google sees a link to an internal web page and it sees that anchor text, you're not really helping Google understand what that web page is about. So those are the main filters up there, and it's worth just showing here that you can actually filter down to URLs that contain certain text. So if we only want to see the results for web pages that are about pork, then we could enter pork in there, and we can also filter down to anchors. So if we only want to see web pages that have anchors of pork linking to them, we can filter by anchor text as well. So let's empty that and let's go through some of these results. So if we look at the first one here, we can see this web page here has these types of anchor text pointing to it from other internal pages. So you can see there's 4 image links, there's 2 not descriptive read more anchor text, and then you can see the rest of the internal link anchor texts are these ones here, with the amount of times they use next to them. Now if you want to see the pages where these anchor texts are used, you simply click that button there and it will show you all internal anchor text pointing to that page. So we can see this page here, these are all the internal links pointing to it, these are all the anchor texts, and these are any issues we think we've found. So you can see we're flagging the read more as a not descriptive anchor text. The image link, we're not really flagging that as an issue, but it's sort of not great either, and then the rest seem fine. So how I would recommend people use this tool is I would just go through all of your websites URLs here and just make sure the anchor texts you're using to link to them are actually descriptive and accurate. Just make sure they tell Google, well, what is that web page about, and make sure you have the keywords you're trying to rank for in that internal anchor text. So that concludes our demo for now. Hopefully you can see how useful this tool is. You can simply point it at your website and it will crawl through every page, checking every link, and then show you for every single page on your website what are the internal links pointing to it, how many they are, where there are, what their anchor texts are, if we see any issues, and in having optimal internal linking is a really quick and basically free way of increasing your search engine rankings. So yeah, I hope this tool is useful for you, and as always, thank you for watching.